First it was Ray Allen, then it was Kyrie, now it's Wile E. Coyote. This guy LeBron's always getting bailed out. And the Goon Squad blew a 1,000-point lead. So. Alright, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, I give spoiler-free movie and TV reviews. Give you a little background, just letting you know if I think it's worth checking out or not. If that's something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see if this one's a slam dunk. Get it? They probably get that one. Never mind. Space Jam: A New Legacy is the new sequel to the classic film Space Jam that came out in 1996. The original movie had Michael Jordan teaming up with the Looney Tunes to take down the Monstars in a huge showdown that featured a very passionate halftime speech from Bugs Bunny. As a kid growing up in the 90s, Space Jam was a huge deal, and I didn't even like Michael Jordan. I still don't like Michael Jordan. Oh, I'm a Knicks fan. You can probably see the pain in my eyes. Shout out to Patrick Ewing and Larry Johnson though. So, the idea for Space Jam actually came from a Jordan sneaker commercial in 1992, which debuted Hair Jordan.
Give me those Air Jordans. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Take these or else.
High-key, Spike Lee was supposed to help write the script, but he had beef with Warner Brothers from Malcolm X. This is a story for another day. Work on Space Jam was scheduled to start in 1993, but Michael Jordan, retired. So then when he unretired, Space Jam was back on track. And the rest is kind of history. It went on to make $250 million at the box office, and it's still the highest grossing basketball film of all time, followed by White Man Can't Jump and Coach Carter. Love and Basketball is number 10 on that list, and Air Bud is number 11. Someone needed that closure. There's still time for a comeback. If Air Bud passes Love and Basketball, you know what? Even the Space Jam soundtrack was crazy. It went 6 times platinum, led of course by I Believe I Can Fly by our Anyway, Space Jam: A New Legacy comes 25 years after the original, and this time stars LeBron James, which, unlike Michael Jordan, this is not his first time acting.
Yeah, you put a little extra on that, LeBron.
Just kidding. High-key though, the first thing I thought when I heard about this sequel is, what took them so long to even make a sequel, and why didn't they ask Kobe Bryant to do this years ago? I think he would have been a good Space Jam sequel. The truth is, Kobe said he doesn't like being on screen, but he would be down to direct if they asked, which I don't think they would ever ask. Can't sell no Kobe sneakers from behind the camera. It's still weird that they didn't make a Space Jam 2 with MJ, considering how much it made at the box office, but it wasn't for lack of trying. MJ straight up told them no, he's not doing a sequel, and that was pretty much the end of that. But Warner Brothers still wanted to make another movie, and they even thought about doing it with other sports. They actually pitched a spy jam with Jackie Chan, a skate jam with Tony Hawk, a race jam with Jeff Gordon, and a golf jam with Tiger Woods. These are real movies.
Boy, if you don't get...
Luckily, none of these were made, and in 2014, it was announced that LeBron James would star in the Space Jam sequel. And here we are. All right, plot time. Space Jam: A New Legacy is a totally different story than the original. Here we have LeBron James and his 2 sons. Darius is really into basketball like his dad, and Dom, the younger one, is more into gaming. LeBron, of course, wants Dom to get more into basketball and take it more seriously, but this kid, makes video games, so it's not happening. On a visit to Warner Brothers Studios to hear a movie pitch, LeBron hates the idea, but Dom is super interested in the artificial intelligence that they use. Fast forward, and that same artificial intelligence, who's played by Don Cheadle, takes LeBron and Dom into cyberspace, and he tells LeBron if he wants his son back, he's gonna have to beat him in a game of basketball. So LeBron gets dropped down to Toon World. He links up with my boy Bugs Bunny. They then set out to assemble the rest of the team so they can start preparing for the big game. And now we got a movie. So what's my take? Nah, this movie's not good. But I think it was good this movie was made. It's one of those. There's a huge camp of people who think some classic movies should never be touched. They would say Space Jam is one of them. I am not in that camp. I'm a big fan of sequels, big fan of remakes if they're done well. If we didn't do sequels, how do we have such film classics like Next Friday and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York? Please, someone answer me that. Anyway, let's get into the good and bad of Space Jam: A New Legacy. Starting with the good, it's the Looney Tunes. I know kids don't really care about the Looney Tunes anymore, and I don't really know what kids care about, anymore. Is it Twitch? But the Looney Tunes are fire. Bugs, Daffy, Zendaya as Lola. I don't think Zendaya's ever done anything wrong in her life ever. And here, another one for you. Congrats. Then the freaking rap battle scene with Porky Pig.
This guy's a gangster. His real name is Clarence. And Clarence lives at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. This guy don't want to battle. He's shook, because ain't no such things as halfway crooks.
It's probably the best part of the whole movie. So shout out to the Tunes carrying this thing. Next positive is about the pros that they got to play on the Goon Squad. Get it? Positive, pros. Anyway, it's also really cool to see that they got some WNBA players to play too. But of course, a very special shout out to the one and only Klay Thompson. Really gave it your all out there. It's good to see. On to the bad about the movie is really pretty simple. It's the plot. It's because it's terrible. Like, I'm supposed to believe like LeBron is some clueless father who can't see that his kid doesn't want to play basketball. And you can't see that the freaking Looney Tunes aren't going to play fundamental basketball. Hello? They're going to get loony. How you don't know that? The whole movie is just a lot. If Tate's Take was just one word movie reviews, Space Jam, A New Legacy, I would say a lot. Is that 2 words? Anyway, if the first Space Jam was a ploy to sell Nike sneakers, then Space Jam, A New Legacy is to sell everything Warner. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Warner. And I like seeing, you know, the Warner properties that they were assembling the team from, like Granny in the Matrix, freaking Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner on Mad Max, who was Elmer Fudd and Austin Powers. But by the time you get to the end and all these characters are watching this big game, but they're just dressed up as the characters, it looks like nonsense and it like distracts you from watching the game. It's a lot. One word. I also don't think the soundtrack has any classic songs like the first movie had. I think they just dropped the ball on that one. Last thing I'll say here is on the acting. And of course, we don't expect basketball players to be thespians, but overall, I don't think anyone really acted that well. I think Don Cheadle is probably the best, but I don't even know why they cast Don Cheadle, and I don't know why he dressed like that. It's not like Michael Jordan was Denzel out there. It's just a lot of super cheesy lines that could have been left out here. And I know for a fact LeBron would have taken more risks than Michael Jordan, but they didn't do it. They just let the Tunes carry the weight. And speaking of Michael Jordan, I cannot believe they didn't get a cameo out of him. That's a huge miss. I hope he wasn't just being a hater, but I have a feeling he was just being a hater. I'm gonna give Space Jam: A New Legacy 2.75 stars. At the end of the day, this movie wasn't made to impress 30-year-old fans that grew up idolizing Space Jam. This is a family movie that I really think kids will enjoy, so it is what it is. It did its job. I described this movie like how I described Coming to America 2. There's nothing about that movie that was better than the first one, but it was still good to see the references, and people enjoyed watching it with their families. At the end of my showing of Space Jam, people were clapping like it was a real game. I mean, the comeback was crazy, but damn. So yes, it's bad. It's too long. It's all over the place. But if the box office is showing us anything, people are willing to watch this. So congrats to LeBron. You may have lost in the first round of the playoffs, but you still got a #1 movie. And honestly, we all know that's AD's fault because he's too fragile. But can you imagine if LeBron was in the finals and had #1 movie? I don't know if I could be able to handle that. I can't. Space Jam: A New Legacy is available right now in theaters and on HBO Max. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, let me know your favorite basketball movie of all time. Is it Space Jam? Is it Space Jam: A New Legacy? Is it Coach Carter? Is it White Man Can't Jump? If it's Air Bud, just don't write it just because people will flame you. Just pick one of the other ones. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace.